Mr. Rooney he was a great man. He was a great owner, but he was even a better person. He got an opportunity to know each and every one of his players, not as the football player, but as the person, as the man. And he would always, with me, thank me for everything that I had done for the organization. All the while, I was trying to thank him. He would never, ever let me thank him because he felt it was about what we did for his organization more than what he did for me personally and for my family. So at this time, I just want to say, thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. We'll miss you. And now, with the 30th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select T.J. Watt, linebacker, Wisconsin.
Pretty cool moment to have Franco Harris on stage there as well, Jerome Bettis, when you made that 30th pick and you honored Mr. Rooney in Philadelphia. Jerome's with us live here and Up to the Minute. How cool was that?
It was a special moment because, Mr. Rooney meant so much to so many people. For us to get an opportunity to acknowledge him at that moment at the draft, it was pretty special. I'm just honored that I got an opportunity to do it.
What'd you think of the pick?
I thought the pick was great. They addressed a serious need that they had. T.J. Watt is a high motor guy, high energy guy, can get to the quarterback. And I think that's what the Steelers need from that position because they haven't been getting the production that they need to get out of that outside linebacker.
It'd be great to have a Hall of Famer here going through the Steelers draft here. We're not going to go pick by pick, Jerome, but let's do a couple. Juju Smith-Schuster. Look, we know him here well in L.A. He was the second-round pick. Then Cam Sutton, James Conner, Josh Dobbs. Want to focus on the wide receiver there at number 2 because I think a lot of Steelers fans went, wait a minute, we're getting Martavis Bryant back. We have Antonio Brown. Sammy Coates has had some issues catching the football, and maybe he and Martavis Bryant had some issues on Twitter as well. But why a wide receiver in the second round, Jerome?
Well, you got to have depth. And I think we saw that because when some of those guys were out of the game, they didn't have the depth that they needed to have. Antonio Brown was the one that was there every single week. But outside of that, we just didn't have the consistency that we needed to have from the other receiver position. So now you add more depth and competition because, competition breeds success. And the best player will become a better player because of that competition. So I thought it was a great move.
James Conner's also a great story. He's not going to have to change where he drives to work every day. The pit running back, Jerome, who I know you know his story, battling cancer and now battling back to be a third-round pick, and he's just going to the other building. Your thoughts on James Conner?
A special football player. And he went through a tough situation, but I think it made him a better football player and a better person for it. And I think he's going to make the Steelers a better team. He's a power runner, downhill guy, and he's going to be a guy that could add depth. Again, something that the Steelers needed to have at the running back position now. They've got a young guy there ready to go with a downhill running style.
Hey, Jerome, want to put up a tweet here from Ben Roethlisberger because the Steelers went out there and drafted a quarterback. They took Josh Dobbs out of Tennessee with the 135th overall selection. He was a fourth-round pick. Ben saying the right things here. Welcome to the family. Excited to help you learn and pass along any knowledge I can. This is really the first time, Jerome, I think Landry Jones is a little different because Ben was younger then, that the Steelers have seemingly drafted a quarterback that they are going to groom to potentially be Ben's replacement. How do you think Ben handles that once you guys get to camp?
I think he handles it well. He knows that he's the leader of that football team until he decides he wants to retire. I don't think that's an issue and somebody's coming up and supplanting him for the starting quarterback job. I think he understands now at this stage in his career, his job is to now start to help some of these young quarterbacks develop. And if they can be an heir apparent to him, then it's only a benefit for the organization. I think that's what, you have to start looking at as you get older in your career. You realize that it's your job to get the next guy ready when you leave so that now you have a seamless transition to the next quarterback. And so I think that's the idea. Ben is not afraid of anybody coming in and taking his job. So I don't think it's going to be a concern about him not helping the younger guys.
Jerome, how many years do you think Ben's got left? Because remember, we talked about this a month ago when he hadn't made it official yet, and then he came back. He took his time, as you said he would. But we're going to have to do this every year. What do you think he has?
I think he's got 2 to 3 more years. That's as long as there's no serious injury. I think 2 or 3 more years. I think is definitely a timeline for Ben. But I tell you what, he's he's one of the toughest guys I've ever played with. So I may be selling him short with 2 to 3 years, but I would give it 2 to 3 years in terms of him staying with the intensity that he has, wanting to come back next year, each year after that, and wanting to play. I think I give him a 2 to 3 year window.
Want to get a quick thought here. Ben's certainly going to be on the list, Jerome, but tonight we unveil a tradition truly unlike any other. Our top 100 players of 2017. We're a couple of weeks away from getting down to number 1. But, Jerome, if you had to vote right now, who would your number 1 guy be?
If I had to vote, I mean, I would be a homer. So I would have to go with Antonio Brown. I mean, he was incredible, and he was there every single week. He's one of the hardest working guys, and he produced. And I think that's what you want out of the number 1, to produce and show up every single week, and as a superstar.
Yeah, I have no doubt he's going to be in the top 10. Hey, Jerome, tell us what you're doing with a road trip to a healthy lifestyle with, I believe, Fred Funk and Stryker. Yes, I am in Dallas now with Stryker and Fred Funk. And what we're doing is we're filming a lifestyle, living healthy. It's a series that we're doing. And what we're doing, basically going to different cities, and we're showing different types of things that you can do to live a healthier lifestyle. So here in Dallas, we're having a great time. And anybody who wants to see this series, all you have to do is go to strikerchallenge.com to see the series. It's pretty fun. Obviously, Fred Funk is a professional golfer, but we're not doing any golf. We're not doing any football. It's all different things. It's pretty neat. You can see I have a baseball jersey on, and we're going to actually be hitting some baseballs, which is, I would have to say, is going to be a challenge for me. But I'm going to enjoy it, have a great time. All right, well, I want to see that video one of these days when you are hitting baseball, so I will check it out. That is the Hall of Famer Jerome Bettis live with us here. Thank you, Jerome. On up to the minute.